Hey guys, what is going on? It is Thursday, and it is conclusion day. We're going to be writing the last paragraph of our letter to the Sons of Liberty today, and which brings us to our craft question, which is, how do I write a conclusion paragraph for an opinion essay? And I know that we've talked about conclusions a lot this year. You guys have written a number of conclusions, but it's always good for me to just kind of reinforce to you exactly what needs to be in your conclusion as we move forward with this writing piece. We're going to be writing your conclusions today. We have something very different and very special on the agenda for tomorrow. So I want you guys to all be in the live lesson tomorrow, because we're going to be having a town hall, and I want to see as many of you as possible, because you guys are going to be giving your opinions, and we're going to be talking all about the stuff that we've been learning in reading with Wit and Wisdom in terms of the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, but most specifically the Boston Tea Party, because that's what we're writing about right now. And plus, the live lessons in the afternoon really count, okay? So we're going to try to do that tomorrow on Friday. But now back to conclusions. And we all know that a conclusion paragraph is the last paragraph of your writing, but it's not just a paragraph you put in there just because you need it. It serves a purpose, okay? And the purpose of your conclusion is, yes, it is the last paragraph of your essay, but what it does is it closes out and wraps up your essay, because you can't just like end after a paragraph. You need a paragraph that kind of takes you to the end of your writing, kind of works you out of there, okay? So conclusions, and we always say this about conclusions, is that they're very similar to your introduction, okay? And that's actually the first thing I have here, is that you're going to use words similar to the ones you used in your introduction. I'm going to put an S next to words so that it reads correctly. You're going to use words that are similar to what you used in your introduction. And then the most important part of your conclusion is that you restate your opinion, okay? And that's super important, especially with an opinion piece more than anything, because that's the last paragraph that you have the reader's attention for. Now, when you're giving your opinion, you're trying to have the reader see your side and agree with you. So you want to make sure you pack an opinion into the last paragraph, okay? So it lets the reader know your thoughts by giving your opinion. It's a takeaway, so that as soon as they're finished reading, they know exactly where you stand. Either you're for the Boston Tea Party, or you're against the Boston Tea Party, or you're kind of in between. But whatever your perspective is of your letter, the reader is going to know exactly where you are, because you're giving your opinion in your conclusion. And then the last thing that your conclusion is going to do for an opinion piece is it's reminding your reader why you're writing the letter in the first place. And that kind of goes back to making sure you restate your opinion. Now, I have a conclusion here for you, but what I did was I searched through all the tens, almost 20-something charts back there to find the introduction that I wrote. And it would make sense because I'm trying to mirror some of the stuff I did in my introduction in my conclusion. So my introduction is, King George has really done it this time. Another tax, this time on tea. So clearly I'm mad at King George. I was telling you guys I was mad at King George, and I was mad about the taxes. I think it's time to take matters into our own hands and get rid of some of that tea. If we don't, King George will be hurting the colonists, and we'll be hearing from the Sons of Liberty, okay? So I had to try to take some of those ideas of my introduction and put them into my conclusion, and I actually was able to. And I don't have any space for my intro, so it's just gonna go down here for now. So I'm not gonna get up, I'm not gonna throw it like I would if we were in school. Now, my intro is here, and I will get my different colored marker to mark up things that are similar to my introduction, okay? So I talk about King George, and I tell you that King George must be stopped. King George was in my intro. I start off with him again in my conclusion. And I'm telling you, must be stopped. So that's part of my opinion. And what I did was I gave my opinion in a couple different ways. I gave my opinion in a couple different ways. I said that King George must be stopped, and then I say we have to pay his unfair taxes for too long. We've had to pay his unfair taxes for too long. That's another way of me giving my opinion. I'm telling you, I think the taxes are unfair and that it's been too long. I'm tired of it. And then here, enough is enough. And we talked about that. We talked about putting emotion into your opinion writing. Make sure your reader really feels what you are saying. And then it says, we as colonists must stand up for ourselves against this horrible ruler. And that comes from my introduction, because I said in my introduction that he would be hurting colonists. So that's why it's time to stand up for ourselves. And then what I do to close it out completely, just to show my opinion again, because what this piece was about was the Boston Tea Party, I make a reference to tea and the Boston Tea Party, and I say, time to dump the tea. So that is my opinion yet again. I gave my opinion 3 different ways in 4 sentences. That's really driving home the fact to my reader of what side I'm on. And clearly, as Ethan here, I am a patriot. And so I went really strong, really heavy, tried to drive the point home of, hey, let's do something about King George, let's get this tea in the water, and let's be done with these taxes, okay? Your whole essay should be done after today, all right? So we are gonna have a revising lesson. You guys are gonna get an opinion essay checklist, just like you guys did for the informational writing. I will have my whole essay on a chart paper, and I will show you all the things that you need to have to revise your writing, or that must be in your writing before you hand it in. And we're gonna hand those in one day next week. I want all 4 paragraphs, okay? So today, as you're finishing your conclusion, make sure you not only know where your conclusion is, but know where your 2 proof paragraphs are and your introduction. So it's your introduction, your 2 proof paragraphs, and your conclusion that you're doing today. That's writing your full opinion letter to the Sons of Liberty. And yes, you can start it as like a Dear Sons of Liberty, introduce yourself and go through the whole thing, okay? Now, please make sure you guys are continuing to submit work. Please make sure that you are watching all the videos on YouTube. I know that some of them are a little bit longer, but they're very important. And think about it, you would be sitting on the carpet for twice the length of one of these YouTube videos if we were in school. So just think about it that way. If you have people that you're friends with who you know aren't watching the videos, aren't getting work done, or they're talking to you and they're confused, have them reach out. We're trying to make this as successful as we can for everyone. All right, it's been so great to see you guys this week on the live lessons, and I hope that we get more and more people. So please make sure that if you're talking to anybody, whether it's on like Xbox or texting or Snapchat or TikTok or any of the nonsense you guys talk to each other on, make sure that everyone's getting online at either 1 or 1:30 for the live lessons, all right? That's it for today. Conclusions must be posted, and make sure you know where all your other paragraphs are, because we are going to be putting this whole essay together sometime next week. All right, guys. I will see you at 1 o'clock today, because 1 o'clock today for me in my math lesson, and then we're going to go right to Mr. Ross, okay? So it's going to be a cool afternoon. You guys are going to get to see a lot of people, especially with the Mr. Ross Zoom. All right, bye.